As Keenan said, it was a fantastic time in Lesotho. There's a few things that really stood out for me. Was firstly, it was an opportunity to learn from people. We had the privilege, part of Ntati Joseph gem team. He's a board member now, but he's a pastor, Pastor Tapiso. And I was privileged enough to drive with him often and go to his church, preach at his church also, and was able to go to the school that is connected to his church, and actually just to sit and listen to him was so impactful for me, for my relationship with Jesus, for some of my desires, some of my hopes, some of the things that God's calling me to, and it was just so amazing to see a man of God who's doing amazing things. And then secondly, I'll just share two things, was as I was by Pastor Tapiso's church, the thing that stood about, we had an 8 a.m. and a few of us went. We had an 8 a.m. and a 11 a.m. service. And in both services, there was just so much joy. There was such an element of worship and praise to God and Jesus. It just seemed like they would just want to do it all day. And they had actually weekly night prayer meetings, and the young people were there and some older people, but it was a young people thing. And you walk into the place and just sense that there's so much joy here. That what's happening in the church in Lesotho is that they are grateful and thankful to God so much. And so therefore they will dance, they will glorify Him, and they will not stop because they recognize what God has done for them and what God is still doing for them. And so I was just so struck by the joy those people, the Basotho people had.